Good day, everyone. Now we will discuss about our research paper review entitled Consumers' Utility Towards Online Barter System in Biliran. The contents are the authors and advisor, the objective, variables, methodology, findings, conclusion, and lastly, the critic. The authors and advisor, the authors are Baterna Angel Maurice H., Ibaho Jarek P., Erzal Renalyn A., Sarsoza Annabel, and the research advisor is Mr. Rodrigo Mahinay. The objective of the study. The main purpose of the study is to determine the consumer's utility in terms of usefulness and value, disclosure of details, treatment or value, and interaction with members. Hence, the users of the online bartering often have high expectations are not met. The next site is only a click away. Several performance problems have observed for online bartering platforms. In particular, this study sought to achieve the following objectives, specifically sought to number one, determine the demographic profile of the respondent in terms of their age, sex, educational attainment, employment status, monthly income, number of years in the barter system. Second, determine the level of consumers' utility in terms of usefulness and value of trade product, disclosure of details about the trade item, treatment or values with regards to the online community members, interaction with members. The third, identify the influence of the respondents on the consumer's utility. The variables used in the research are the dependent variable includes the level of consumer's utility, the usefulness and value of trade item, treatment or value with regard to the online community members, and last, the trader's interaction with the members. And on the other hand, the independent variable is demographic profile of the consumers in Isla de Biliran barter tribe.
So now, let's talk about the methodology of the study. First is the research design. The research design of the study was a descriptive approach to assess the demographic profile of the respondents such as age, sex, educational attainment, employment status, frequency of transaction, monthly income, and the number of years in the barter system. In addition, the study used correlation design in order to show the relationship of the dependent and independent variable. Thus, test the significant level to either reject the null hypothesis of the study. Next is the research part. This study is conducted in the province of Biliran. Since that there are a lot of online traders have been identified and based on the history of the Facebook group, the Isla Biliran Barter Tribe is private and was created on May 25, 2020. Thus, the conduct of the study on assessing the consumer's utility in the online barter system utilized Isla Biliran Barter Tribe Facebook group, a fitting research environment. Next is research respondents. The data used in this study was drawn from a survey of 364 out of 6,600 consumers in Isla de Biliran Barter Tribe. The 364 sample respondents were randomly selected through the random sampling method. The sample size computed using the online sample size calculator or SurveyMonkey. The computation of sample size includes population size, 95% level of confidence, and 5% margin of error. Next is research instruments. A self-filling structured questionnaire is the main instrument that was used in collecting data. To gather the data needed for this study, the researchers created a survey questionnaires themselves since no other studies are circulating online. The researchers also conducted a pilot test with 75% reliability among 15 members of different barter groups on Facebook. So the structured survey questionnaire were divided into 5 main parts and are the following. In the part 1, demographic profile. Part 2, usefulness and value. Part 3, disclosure. Part 4, treatment or value. Part 5, social interaction. This 20-item questionnaire with 5 Likert scale of satisfaction scale has passed the reliability using Cronbach's alpha measure of internal consistency.
Next is data gathering procedure. Before gathering the needed information for the study, a request letter was sent to the creator of Isla de Biliran Tribe Facebook group asking permission to conduct this study. Upon approval, the researchers surveyed the consumers of the Isla de Biliran Barter Tribe and allotted time for the respondents to answer the survey questionnaire that the researchers sent online. The data gathering was started on June 20, 2022 up until it was finally completed by the 364 respondents in July 5, 2022. Next is statistical treatment of data. The answers from online survey questionnaires coming from the consumers of the Isla de Villarbarter Tribe Facebook group were tabulated for data treatment and the demographic profile of the respondents was identified and described using descriptive statistic frequency and percentage. Lastly, the researcher performed correlation analysis using IBM SPSS 16.0 software to evaluate data. The weighted mean was used for the analysis. This formula is weighted mean, in which x bar is weighted mean, x is score, w is weighted factor, and the last symbol is summation. This formula is percentage, where F is frequency, N is total number of respondents, P is percentage.
Now let's talk about the findings of the research. In the table 2, the respondents' demographic profile, using descriptive analysis, the result of the study reveals that the highest age of the respondents are below 25 years old, majority are female college undergraduate, and are regular in their specific jobs with a monthly income of less than 5,000 and a year in the online barter system.
In Table 3, it states that in addition, usefulness and value results shows that the ratings in all the 5 items as well as the overall average fall under the interval for satisfied. For the disclosure of details about the product, the data indicate that the consumers of Isla de Biliran Barter Tribe are satisfied. Moreover, the result which stands for satisfied for the treatment or value with regard to the online community members of the Facebook group. In terms of the interaction with members, result shows that the consumers are satisfied which corresponding to the total mean.
Furthermore, to measure the significance of correlation, the p-value should be at 0.05 level since the correlation between educational attainment and disclosure of details is less than 0.05. This suggests that correlation is significant. It means that the null hypothesis is rejected. Therefore, there is a significant influence between educational attainment and the level of consumer utility of the respondents. Lastly, in terms of educational attainment and interaction with members, results show the p-value is less than 0.05. This this means that null hypothesis is rejected. Therefore, there is a significant influence between educational attainment and the level of consumers' utility of the respondents.
Next is the conclusion of the study. In accordance to the result, The researchers found out that there is a significant influence between educational attainment and the level of consumers' utility of the respondents. Therefore, educational attainment can influence the level of consumers' utility in terms of the disclosure of details about the item and the interaction with members. This means that the higher the education attained by the respondents, the higher they are satisfied, and the higher the positive interaction with the members, the higher they are satisfied. On the other hand, based on the descriptive result of the level of consumers' utility, the consumers had low ratings in usefulness and value of the trade product, especially in the questionnaire number 4 and 5, where the respondents were asked about how satisfied they are and with the quality of traded product and trade value.
So our critic in the research, it was stated that the researchers created a survey questionnaire themselves since no other studies are circulating online and it can introduce bias. So even if they conducted a pilot test, bias can still occur. Participants may interpret questions differently or there could be unrecognized leading phrases. One of the strong points is their choice of research design, where they choose a descriptive research approach as it is the most appropriate approach to answer the research problem. So that's the end of our discussion of our research paper review entitled Consumers' Utility Towards Online Barter System in Biliran.